Cheers!
And
Merry Christmas! Today is Christmas Day.
It is.
That's when this video is getting posted, on Christmas Day.
Yes. And we're here today, coming from our new living room.
That's right. This is the first time we filmed in our new living room.
It is.
Because we bought a house.
Yes, we did. Here in Idaho Falls, not far from Dad.
Yep. For those of you who've been watching the channel, you know that we moved back, repatriated from Taiwan just about a year ago. And we've spent the last year readjusting to the U.S. lifestyle, and we were very lucky that we had the opportunity to live in my dad's basement that he wasn't using as we found our way. But we did. And we decided to buy a house.
We did. We're still a couple years away from going mobile permanently. This house will become a rental after that. We also want to let you know that next week we're going to be on vacation. So there will be no buses, bikes, and beers upload next Saturday morning. Wait for, you can watch the rest of our Labor Day festivities the following week.
Before we get back to part one of our Labor Day weekend, we just wanted to say thanks to all of you who have engaged with us, who are supporting Buses, Bikes, and Beers, who leave us comments. We really appreciate it. It's those interactions that really inspire us and keep us motivated to keep putting out the content. Love the feedback. Please keep it coming. If you haven't commented, please do.
If you haven't subscribed, please do so.
We would really appreciate it. And if you know anybody who might enjoy Buses, Bikes, and Beers, please let them know. We are trying to grow the channel.
We hope you have a wonderful holiday season and get to spend time with your loved ones carefully.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Be safe. And
enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. Now back to Labor Day Part 1.
Labor Day Part 1.
Cheers. Wear a helmet. Welcome back to Buses, Bikes, and Beers. In our last episode, we had some fun on a cycle pub and then rode our Apollo bikes on the Banks Vernonia Trail. After that, we spent a bit more time in Oregon and Washington State, and then drove about 800 miles back to Idaho Falls, where we briefly regrouped for a couple of days. This episode picks us up when we're back on the road in Franklin.
Hello. I'm
zipping the sleeping bags together
because we are in Dickinson, North Dakota.
Yeah, we're in Dickinson.
I almost said Carolina, but it's...
But we got to give an update. This is the first time we've actually turned the camera on today.
Yeah, and it's 7:30 p.m.
We'll give you a quick update.
We left the house at 5:45 a.m.
We left Idaho Falls at 5:45.
We hadn't been home. We'd been home for 25 hours.
Yeah, because we just got back from driving 800 miles from Olympia, which we did after the Bend trip, which hopefully by now you've seen some footage of the Bend trip and some of the cycling we did there, hanging out with my sister and her husband and my dad. And so we did that. And then we went to Bobby Quinn, who you know Bobby Quinn?
From Ragbri.
From Ragbri. So we went to his wedding reception. They got married a couple years ago, but COVID canceled all the stuff. Anyway, we drove back to Idaho Falls, spent about 24 hours there.
25 hours.
Got ourselves resituated, repacked the car, took the bike rack off, actually washed the car, got back in Franklin and drove all day today. It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday. We are in Dickinson, North Dakota.
On our way to Minocqua, Wisconsin.
Yes.
To spend Labor Day weekend with my family.
Yeah, anyway, we're doing that.
Yeah.
We're at a campground. Franklin's plugged in, charging. It's charging. We just made up the bed.
We're gonna go for a walk.
There's a lake.
Oh yeah, it's Lake Patterson, I think. Pattinson, something like that. Dickinson.
Dickinson, Patterson, sort of the sons.
We'll figure it out.
But we're gonna have a beer, walk around, get a little exercise. And we're gonna hit the sack.
The sack and get up early again tomorrow and drive. Oh my gosh, the range on the Tesla without the bike rack
Way
and the
better.
bikes.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
Huge difference.
Amazing.
Yeah, shocking.
We went how many miles?
222 today.
222, the furthest we've ever gone.
And we weren't even at 100%. That was starting at like 91%.
And it only got 2?
Like 24%.
24%.
Unbelievable range today.
perfect.
Yeah.
Like it was rated to get. So we're happy about that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
7 a.m. We're on the road. Just left the campground.
It's right there behind us.
Got a full charge. While we slept.
93%.
93% is where we wanted it. A little bit of a rattle back there.
There's always a rattle back there when you have your luggage in
I
this
just
place.
don't like rattles. I don't like anything
In
about it.
500 feet, turn right onto West Willard Street.
But we're headed. We have about 500 miles to drive today.
What's our
Now turn
destination
right
today?
onto West
Our
Willard
destination
Street.
is
Cathio State Park.
Cathio State Park, near Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay. Slept good. Tesla camping still working good for us. And we gotta find some coffee. That's number one priority. Number one
Coffee first.
priority is coffee. Like Marybeth likes to say, shut up, coffee, shut up.
Coffee first.
Coffee first.
I'm a little more polite about it. Coffee first. Please.
Let's go. We're driving through Fargo. We decided to stop at the Air Museum, the Fargo Air Museum.
Good.
We got a Groupon, got in here cheap, and we thought we had the time,
And we do.
and we do. So we're gonna go see the Fargo Air Museum.
Oh.
That is a P-51 Mustang. Really cool. I believe this is an F4 Phantom. That's a B-25 Mitchell. If anybody's a World War II fan, that's the planes that the Doolittle and his crew flew those off aircraft carriers in the South Pacific and all the way to Tokyo. And, this is the hook that flips down to catch the cable on an aircraft carrier landing. That thing takes a tremendous amount of force if you've ever seen that happen. And it's just not a very big, it's not a very big area to catch the hook, but I guess the cable hits here, it slides down to catch the hook, but ooh, you don't want to miss. This is a Predator drone that is on loan to the museum from the North Dakota Air National Guard.
The hooligans.
The hooligans.
Oh, sorry, the happy hooligans.
But they flew operations with this. Actually, the pilots were here. Well, this drone did operations wherever. But this drone, the Predator, is officially retired. It retired in 2018, I think the sign said.
Yeah.
But this carried 2 Hellfire missiles, 1 on each wing. This thing was badass. And they were quiet. So there's a propeller in the back. It's not a jet, it's got a propeller in the back, and it's crazy, isn't it? This is a Grumman TBF Avenger. And this sign indicates it was made by General Motors. So it's really just a big Corvair, if you think about it. This is really cool. Entered service in 1942. But this, I've seen these, but it's really a lot bigger than you can see the size of this thing. This thing is huge. Marybeth noted that the landing gear folds up into the wing, but this is a bomber, and you can see it carried a lot of bombs. Shut your door. Here, I'm gonna do.
Huey. Bell Huey. It says Bell Huey on the pedals.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And we're really proud of this helicopter, apparently.
But I'm gonna tell you, to fly a helicopter, hold this. You actually have to do this. You actually have. It takes all. I think this is the primary pilot seat because it has more buttons on the controller thing. This is the backup guy. I'm the co-pilot. You're the pilot.
So it takes all four
It
appendages.
takes all 4 appendages to fly a helicopter.
All helicopters fly this way?
Yeah.
Wow. We saw somebody crop dusting in a helicopter.
It was one of these.
It was one of these.
It was one of these.
Oh my god.
It was one of these. It's a wall of the history of aviation. A century of aviation. 1903 to 2003. That's pretty neat.
I'm standing here at the end of the runway at the airport. There's a plane coming in. Let's watch it land. It's gonna be a tough one. He nailed it.
It's a perfect landing. This is a plane I've never seen before. It's a made 20,000 of them, but this was apparently widely used in World War II by the Nazi Air Force. But it's super. Hold this. Look how small it is. This
That's
is a
a
tiny little airplane.
Really small airplane.
You saw the planes in the other thing where they were just ginormous. This thing is tiny.
Perhaps that's why they lost the war.
Well, yeah, that's it. That must be the reason. This must be a replica or something. It's too freaking small. Can't be real. Okay, I get it. If you read the full thing, at the very bottom, it says this is a half-scale replica.
Flyable model.
Flyable model. And so it's an experimental thing modeled to look like the Nazi airplane. This isn't a Nazi airplane.
It wasn't that small.
It wasn't that small. And that's not why the Germans lost. Okay,
We're gonna make our own paper airplanes, each of us, and we're gonna see whose flies the best.
She's already cheated. She's already been watching what I'm doing.
I'm not. I'm just following the instructions that are on the tablecloth.
Excuse me. Hey. This is a really intricate airplane design.
I've never made one like this before.
Me either. Oh, mine's gonna. I'm having trouble. I'm already gonna make up excuses.
Mine's perfect.
Here is my completed airplane. This is a masterpiece, I think.
I gotta make the elevator.
Yeah, make the elevator.
This is called the elevator. This
Yeah,
part right here.
yeah. Where's our test field?
Not outside. It's too windy. Oops.
No.
I'm over here on the right. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh!
I went further.
I got too much elevator. Let's make adjustments. Are you done with your adjustments?
Yeah, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yours went further too. Mine landed right there. And Brentley's flew all the way around here
It's flat.
and landed all the way over here. Brentley wins.
It's because I have an engineering degree.
Yay.
See, Dad, it wasn't a waste of money.
We found something familiar to us. This is a chit. It's the blood chit. During World War II, this was the blood chit of China because that was China's flag. And now it's the Republic of China. That flag belongs to the Republic of China, which we all know as Taiwan.
We're back in the car. Museum was great.
It was fun.
We just left.
And now we're headed to the campground. Predicted to
headed-
get there with 24%.
Yeah, we'll see how we can manage the battery. Hopefully, it looks like the wind may have died down. I'm trying to be optimistic and think that the wind may have died down because that was
Sucking some juice.
Sucking some pretty big juice. So we'll monitor our speed in the battery, and it's 173 miles, which
We did yesterday, easily.
yeah,
So
we'll see how we do.
Brentley's a little bit afraid of campground power since we had that problem in Minnesota on our way to Ragbri where the charger kept tripping up and
Yeah, because
couldn't get the charge at the campsite. He's a little worried about that, but last night we had no problem at the campsite. So
what's our backup plan? So what do we do if we get there and we're at whatever percent, we're at 14% or 10% or whatever, and we can't get a charge to work? What's our back plan? That's what I need to know. What's our backup plan in that case?
I don't.
We
Well,
got-
we're going to make sure that we have enough charge because there is one more supercharger between here and the campground. And when we get to Brainerd, we're going to assess how much power we have and do we need to add some at that supercharger so we have enough to get from the campground to the next supercharger. That's our plan.
This is a really big lake. What's it called?
Millie Lax Lake.
Millie Lax Lake, and we're staying at Millie Lax State Park this evening.
I think you're probably going to. We got into the campsite right at dusk last night.
So
And
we didn't pick up the camera because there probably wasn't enough light.
no, there was definitely not enough light. It was from the registration cabin
At the state
at the
park.
state park. It was a 3-mile drive
To the campsite.
to the campground.
Never seen that before.
No. And we had to go back
Now bear
because we
right
forgot to pick
onto
up a bag
State
of ice,
Highway 27.
which they thankfully did have on your honor system payment thing.
Ice.
So
Ice,
we did
baby.
get a bag of ice, but we had to drive an extra 6 miles for that, which was stressful because
When we plugged in, we were going to plug into the 30 amp connector at the campground, but it wouldn't work. And the 110 worked, so the super slow
Thankfully.
charging worked, thankfully. So we got 10 or 12% last night, which gets us enough it's got enough juice now to get to the supercharging station, which is on our way, which is all good. But it would have been much better having paid the full price for the campground to get the 30 amp 220 to work, because we probably would have gotten to full charge, but that didn't work out.
so Minnesota campgrounds, Minnesota State Park campgrounds, 2 for 0, 0 for 2,
Well, it's 1.5.
1.5.
Because we did get the 110 to work.
No.
I'm not convinced it's a campground. I
Not
think it might
1.5.
be the cheap ass 30 to 50 amp connector I bought at Walmart. The
That's a
adapter.
possibility. We should have tested it out at the last campground we were at.
Because it had a 50 and a 30 and a 110,
Yeah.
but we didn't. So we made it to Minocqua, Wisconsin, which is the closest town to where Marybeth's brother's cabin, lake cabin is. They call it a cottage. And we stopped at the grocery store to pick up some stuff, beer mostly. There's an app called PlugShare that most Tesla owners probably know about. If you don't, you need to know about it. But it lists where you can find charging ports in areas of the country where supercharger stations aren't available. Anyway, we found this place. It's Slumberland Furniture. They've got a 50 amp. They have a 50 amp plug. It's free. You plug it in. So we've been sitting here getting a charge. We did pretty well. We pulled in here with about a 30% charge. So we got a little bit of a top off. Actually, we got a little bit of juice just for some margin. We'll plug it in when we get to the cottage. It'll stay plugged in for 3 days and be ready to go. But anyway, it's pretty cool. There's a network of people like this awesome furniture store that are willing to put a plug and let people charge. Doesn't cost them hardly anything, and it's goodwill for the community. So anyway, very cool. We made it. We're at the cottage. Booth Lake, near Minocqua, Wisconsin. Franklin is plugged in to the garage. He's going to just trickle charge for a while. We're living in that little tiny house right there. This is Marybeth's brother's in-laws cabin, and they're not here, but they have graciously invited us to use this little exterior bedroom. So it's really cute. Got a nice cozy feel, little cabiny.
Part of the family's gonna be staying in this house here. My mom and my sister and Lori and some of their crew
Oh.
are staying here.
Hope they're quiet. They'll keep us awake. It's cool because it's like a little family compound. This is their backyard, fire pit, and they made this cute little path between the cottages, but it's really cool. We're happy to be here. We're the first ones here. The water doesn't appear to be turned on. We don't have the Wi-Fi password. We don't have internet connectivity.
So we're roughing it.
We are seriously roughing it.
But we know where the beer is.
But our electric car is plugged in. Yeah, let's go get a beer.
Give me the bird. Oh, thank you.
No, it's got an eagle on it.
Oh, the eagle bird.
Why does your mind always have to go
Give
to
me the bird.
terrible places?
Stay upside down weird. Wisconsin Brewing Company. At a time when beer experimentation is everywhere, let's journey back to our roots. The Yankee is an old-school American IPA, the style that introduced the weird to the yellow, fizzy U.S. beer market. Assertively dry hopped with some of the original piney, citrusy bad boys of American-grown hops, Cascade, Centennial, and Chinook. Yankee lands a 5-feathered flavor punch. Stay weird on that. It's really good.
Oh man, that's good.
It's
Okay,
really good.
what do I have? I've opened it and I don't think I can get it out of my koozie without making a huge mess. You did such a good job reading yours. Why don't you read mine?
So the first thing I see on the can are 2 canoe oars and the words paddle responsibly. And he's just going to have to drink some of this before we can tell you about it. Bent Paddle Brewing Company. This is a golden IPA crafted in Duluth, Minnesota, which is not very far from here. An unexpected visual bend to an American Indian Pale Ale. This style is one that stands out in a crowd, or if you're more like us, enjoyed at a campsite,
Oh.
with no crowd. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
That's just kind of like explains this situation. It's,
I picked the perfect beer.
you did. BentPaddleBrewing.com. Paddle responsibly. Let us know what you think. Brentley, have a taste. Bent hop.
Oh, it's totally different than yours. It's not as complex. It's not as hoppy. It's not as complex, but it's good. It's good. Yours is better, I think, but it's good.
I want to taste.
Good. That's a nice finish. That's a nice finish. Smooth finish.
Oh yeah, completely
Different,
different. Not as complex as a good description.
but it's smooth finish.
Very smooth. It's drinkable.